YouTube. Welcome to the channel. I'm up in Shropshire today. Bit of a difference from me, not Dartmoor or Wales, and I'm on the Long Mynd. So sort of given a spot by Rich from Wild Astro. A little shout out to Rich. He was going to make it tonight, and apparently his wife's ruined it. She's got aqua aerobics or something, so he can't make it. He was going to meet me up on a site further up here, but never mind. See you next time, Rich. Hopefully it's a good spot. If not, I won't come back up here again. It's not too long a trek, probably about an hour to get there. For some reason my pack is the heaviest it's ever been. It's looking pretty huge. I don't know why, but I have got a new tent, which I'm going to be trying out tonight, and a new stove, both sent out to me by the same company. So I'll be using them on the camp tonight. I'm going to do a little review on it as well, but not in this video, so I'll do that separately. But I'll show you the tent obviously throughout the camp. It is a beautiful late afternoon, early evening. It's 6 o'clock now. The sun behind me, nearly setting. I'm hoping to get to camp and be able to pitch up and catch a sunset on a time lapse, because I was not expecting this weather. It was showing cloud constantly, all throughout last week. It was just showing thick cloud cover and dull and dark, but it's lovely, so fingers crossed. So just to tell you a little bit about this area. So this is the Long Mynd. Over there is the Long Mynd. The Long Mynd. I don't really know anything about this area, sorry. Geographical knowledge of zero. Not that I know a huge amount about Dartmoor either, but a bit more than there. So I'm using OS maps instead of Outdoor Active today. For some reason couldn't find this place on Outdoor Active. Probably user error. But I'm halfway up this track and my OS maps has froze. So the little arrow is just spinning around, not knowing where to go. I'm carrying on walking and leaving the arrow behind me. So somewhere back there, if you find it, there's a little red arrow. It's mine. Just briefly going back to the 3FUL Kidium Pro frameless pack that I'm wearing. I've not really been on a massive long hike or with a lot of weight in it. This is about 2 miles, so not huge for me. It's rated to, I think, 14 or 15 kilo payload, so in total it should be around that weight. I don't know how I've managed it. I have got about 3 litres of water on board, so that doesn't help. But I'm normally around 10 to 12 kilos. And I weighed this before I left. It's over 18 kilos. And I honestly don't know, the tent is bigger. I haven't got hiking poles. So the tent is supposed to weigh about 1.8 or 1.9 kilos. On my scales, the whole thing in the bag with repair sack, repair patches, pegs, poles, an additional repair tube for the poles like you get on MSRs, and a very large oversized stuff sack, came out 2.2 kilos dead on. So I weigh it a lot more. I will, when I get back, weigh it individually, and I'll put it on the screen now, because I think the bag it comes in is relatively heavy and all the other bits and pieces add up. So I won't give you its bare minimum trail weight, as they call it, without anything in it, but I will weigh it individually, pegs, poles. That's with the ground sheet, admittedly, so maybe they weigh it without it. I think the ground sheet's about 150 grams. So if you go without it, it'll bring it down to maybe sub 2 kilos. But other than that, I don't understand why my bag is so heavy. But the reason for starting this bit of conversation, I don't feel any weight on me at all. This It's really comfy. It's not been a massively hilly climb. It's been a few bits. My son had me out on the bike over the school holidays, so my knees are feeling it. But it's really comfy. It doesn't feel any heavier than any other bag I've had. So far, yeah, Kidian Pro 3FUL. It's going really well. It's not as waterproof as they say it is. The material's waterproof, but it's not. The seams aren't. So if it gets soaked, it'll go through the stitching. So I'm going to get a pack liner for it. Cole, if you're watching, I'm going to get a pack liner for it, just to keep everything inside it dry so it doesn't get soaked. I do have a pack cover that I use for it as well, just in case there's me doubling and tripling everything up. But yeah, it's been a good bag for the price. 70 quid, 890 grams I think it weighs. You're not going to get much more lightweight than that. I do have a my Decathlon closed cell foam mat with me, so that's the back protection. But I've had it without it, with nothing on there at all. And as long as it's packed right, it's fine. You don't need anything there but horses for courses. I tend to bring another mat to go under my sleep pad anyway, just simply because one, punctures, and two, get a bit extra warmth, because I don't have the highest rated mats in the world for winter camping. It's not that cold today. It's not cold at all really. Bit of a breeze, but I think I'll be in for a warm night. So the tent is the 3FUL Thai G2. So it's very similar in design to one of the MSRs. Crossover pole with a third, like a spreader bar on the top, which gives you extra headroom inside. 2-person, decent size. The length is tight for me. It's 215 centimeters, and I was thinking, look, I'm 192. I should be able to fit in it. It's fairly steep walls, but no, my head touches one end, my feet touch the other, but if I lay at an angle, then it's fine, and I've still got space in each corner for my gear to go inside. So it's got the 2 vestibules, it's got 120 centimeters internal height, so plenty of space, and I've got the 4-season inner with it as well, which it's not a full 4-season tent, but it does come down pretty low. But I wanted to have that 4-season inner simply because the 3-season one is just complete mesh, and I think you can still use this in the summer. You can vent it. It's got a double zip on the door, which I'll show you. And I think that the 3-season one's not going to be ideal. But I'll get it up when I get there and I'll show you it. The tent, that is. My penis was once in the Guinness Book of World Records, but the librarian made me take it out.
Our eyes are closed when we start this loop on repeat. Hear my chest, how it beats when you put your hands on me. Time goes fast, but yet so slow. I leave all thoughts, yeah, I let them go. 'Cause I'm here with you, and all I need is you.
So these are my junk inside here. I'm sleeping at an angle, so my head doesn't touch the end, my feet don't touch the end. Bag I can put anywhere, bit of clothing over there. There's only one small pocket in this tent, little tiny one there where you can just about fit a key in your wallet, maybe your phone. As I say, you got a hook for hanging your lantern, and that's about it. So there's a small amount of ventilation at the top on both sides, and you've got the ventilation outside there. So there's not much wind tonight. There was a bit earlier, obviously, when I was trying to show you the footprint. But it'd be good to see how this is like for condensation. Obviously it's a big tent, so I don't think it will be badly affected by it. The vestibule is a decent size. Plenty of space to cook from your table and food and junk. Yeah, I feel a bit spoilt with this tent. I'm quite excited for the space. It's so much easier. I'm so used to the Lanshan, and I sort of feel like I'm in the Lanshan when I'm setting it up because it's the same colour, same material, same make. But then suddenly you get inside it and there's this huge amount of space, and it just feels like a palace. So yeah, it's great. You can actually get changed in here, you can move about. There's loads of room to put your gear as opposed to just cramming it behind you in the Lanshan. Might be my new go-to tent, who knows? Yeah, it's a nice tent. It's not a bad spot to sit out and look out. So as I was saying before, Collins Outdoors have also sent me a little stove. It's called the Frex Micromax. Now I'm sure that should be maybe the Flex Micromax, but on the box it says Frex Micromax. It's by a company called Camping Moon, and it comes in a nice little pouch, which is a bit big and bulky, but it's quite a tasteful little pouch. The stove itself weighs 99 grams, so it is heavier than a BRS. Obviously, they're 24 grams tiny. But so this is a copy of the Soto Windmaster. So that's the stove itself. In the little pouch at the back here, you then get the pot stand. So very similar to the Soto Windmaster. You basically squeeze it together and you put it around the top of the stove. These legs flick out, so if you've got a wide pot or a saucepan or a frying pan, it will fit on there. It's also got a built-in igniter as well, so it's got a piezo igniter on it as well, and it also has a valve on it as well, so it keeps constant pressure even when the gas canister is getting low. So it's got one of those regulator valves on it. So I have used this. I tried it at home in the garden, and it's boiled half a litre in about 2 minutes. Fairly quick. It was fairly windy. Now, as you can see on here, when the stove is on it, there's a very, very small gap. Hopefully you can see that between the stove and the actual pot. So it protects it from the wind. This sort of domed section here dips down and the flames come out of all of these holes. I'll set it up and I'll show you how well it works. It seems pretty good. There's not really any wind to test it in tonight, but I didn't bring my windshield, funny enough. I don't know where that is. That's probably at home somewhere, but quite handy that I got this instead. So I'll get this up and I'll show you. Food tonight, I'm still getting through my 24-hour ration pack, the MRE ration pack. So I've got a pasta bolognese tonight. See how that goes. A couple of little snacks as well. But yeah, I'll get some water boiled and I'll get the food on. So dimensions of the stove is 155mm by 145mm when fully opened, or 90 when it's shut. It's too big to fit in my pot. It will fit in my pot on its own, but then I can't fit the canister inside the pot as well. So I've kept it loose separately, but that's going to be the same with any stove apart from pretty much the BRS. I think that's the only stove that will fit inside there with a gas canister. So I'll just switch it on and show you how it works. So you can see all the little gas jets inside there. They're all down lower, below the top of it. So that is what protects it from the wind. It puts out 3.3 kilowatts. Now, I don't know what that means in comparison to other stoves, but as I say, it boiled half a litre in 2 minutes, which was dead quick. So I'm going to boil this up and then turn it down, let it simmer for 7 or 8 minutes before I eat. And warm my hands up. The temperature's dropped drastically. Hands are freezing. Best hand warmer you can get. So yeah, that boiled the water in no time at all. Obviously there wasn't as much in there because the pouch was inside my pot. But yeah, it regulates really well. You can turn it really down low because I had too much water in there and it overflowed when it boiled. So I had it on a very low simmer just to keep this warmed and get it warmed through fully. And yeah, it's really adjustable, works really, really well. If you're interested, I'll put a link in the description below, so you can click on that and get one yourself if you fancy one. So it's not the smallest of stoves, but it's a decent power, very protective in the wind, so it should work very, very well in the wind. I will take it out again with me and give it another try. But now I'm going to get on with my ration pack. Right, I've eaten my pasta bolognese. That went down quite well. I would not call it pasta bolognese. I was suddenly transported back to childhood. It was basically exactly the same as a tin ravioli that you get from Heinz, which I haven't had since I was a kid. So I actually really enjoyed it. It was nice. Got a couple of little biscuits and snacks to go with it afterwards, and also the cake that came with the pack. So I've got this vanilla flavoured cake. So tonight I'm having a dessert. I'm dining out on this MRE. 2 lots of meals, peanuts, still got stuff left. I don't know what this cake's going to be like. Oh right, okay, it's in another wrapper. I thought that was the outside of it. I thought that looks a bit plasticky, but it's in like a tissue type of a wrapper. Looks a bit solid for a cake. Yeah, it breaks as opposed to bends. But it's sealed in a pack with an out of date of, well, 2045 or something. So it's not bad. It's sweet. It's a dessert. I never normally have a dessert. Well, better than nothing. This makes a nice change. Being able to film inside the tent. Right, it's about 11:15. So I'll go to bed, and if nothing happens, I'll catch you guys in the morning. Good morning. Well, I'm so glad I set my alarm for 5:30 for the non-existent sunrise at 5:45. It's very clear out, but there's just a low, well, a high but constant solid level of clouds. So yeah, no sunrise to speak of this morning. I've had one coffee, I'm going to get another one on, and this morning I'm going to have breakfast, chicken, sausage and beans, I think. I may not do. I might just have a coffee. I rarely have breakfast, so I might save this for another evening meal instead. Chicken, sausage and beans seems a bit odd for breakfast, but don't know. Let's see how it goes. So, the tent, last night, there was no real wind to speak of, so no sort of test that it went through as such, but it felt very luxurious to have a tent this size, to be able to get changed inside it, have plenty of space, and there was not a single bit of condensation. So there wasn't really a breeze last night, so I thought I might get some. There's none inside the tent, and there is none even on the fly, which I think that's a first for me. Yeah, I always get some on the inside of the fly, but this is completely bone dry, so it's fared very well tonight. Temperature got down to about 3 degrees last night, so nothing really major. But yeah, I'm quite liking it. It's worked really well. Right, that's me all packed up. Leave no trace where I was last night. Ground's all clear. Bit of a chilly morning, but it's nice. It's dry and it's fresh. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, hit the like button, it means a lot. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next video.